Let's go to them with Chris. Chris from the band Majestica. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm really good. Busy days, you
Is
know.
it? So there is a new Majestica album, and we had the chance to listen to this album. It's out in February. So I've just watched again our first interview with Tommy 4 years ago for the Christmas Carol album, which
Oh
was
yeah,
amazing. And the interview was really great. And so, of course, this is not the same album. This is not the same atmosphere because you can only have one Christmas Carol power metal album, right?
exactly.
So my first question is, how did you work on this new album together, and what was the challenge for you guys?
Well, it's this album. I think it was a big challenge at first. We didn't really get the inspiration of something, so that's why it's been taking a while to between the Christmas Carol and this album, because at first we were thinking like, what should we do? Okay, we should do this style, and we should do something, and we just wrote some songs, and we just felt like, no, this is actually not really what we're gonna do. So we started all over again and tried to come up with some kind of concept that we can build on. Because the first thing was just that write some songs and see where it goes.
Mhm.
And there is only, I think, one or two of those songs that actually ended up on the album, even if we almost had a full album written. But we just used two of those songs, and then we came up with this cool concept, which became Powertrain.
Mhm.
And we went out in the woods to a house, and we rented this house for a week, and we were just sitting there brainstorming, coming up with different cool concept ideas and things like this. And then this Powertrain idea came, and we figured, okay, let's start writing some riffs, or some bones of songs to see where it goes. And then when this kind of happened, and we had this idea, this concept, the Powertrain thing, and even the idea for the music video was, we already had that at that point, even if there was no song yet. We just had the video is going to look like this. It's going to have all these things, all these elements, all these people in there. And from that point, it was actually pretty quick. It was just like 3 months and the album was written. And then, something like that. This When we rented this house, that was exactly 1 year ago, now in November.
So you had first the concept, the ideas before the music. Most of the time, in fact, the music is written and then the concept is written. But yeah, you started with the concept and the idea, right?
Yeah, exactly. As I said, a couple of songs were written before, and but it just didn't work this time to do it that way. Because many times, especially when I write songs, I write the music first, and then the concept comes to the song somehow. But with Majestica, it's been a bit different, because A Christmas Carol was also the same thing. There was already a concept, and the
Yeah.
songs were written to the concept. And I think for us, maybe this works pretty good with what we are doing to maybe have some ideas before actually doing the music to it. That's why it gets maybe so majestic, and epic, this kind of arrangements of the songs and how it fits everything.
Is it hard to throw songs, full songs, or many songs?
Yeah, it is. But I mean, we can probably use them in the future again.
Ah, that's
They
good.
are not bad. It just wasn't what we were feeling for. It just
Yeah.
wasn't there. It was like, oh, this song is great, but what are we gonna do with this song? Like, we don't have any idea, because that's the thing. There we had a concept. We had the music before, but we didn't really have the concept for a song, and we didn't really feel like something of our ideas were fitting to these songs. Because when the Powertrain idea came about again, we went through all these old songs and tried to find, is any of these songs fitting any of our ideas here, or the theme? And that was like, not really, not that many of them.
Okay. So let us know about the concept of this album with the of course the train. There is some epic stuff. I would say in the concept.
Yeah. So this it's a funny thing because this concept is basically a concept. You could say the album is a has a concept that is not a concept. The whole idea was to create a concept where we can actually focus on something, but don't have this kind of red line of one story going all the way through. So it's a concept that there is no concept. So basically, this powertrain, and that's what you can see in the music video. That there is, you are in this wagon in the train, and there's so many different kinds of people doing completely different things. Like you have this football team, you have this Vikings, you have some heavy metal people, you have one knight with a sword, and you have this time traveler guy, and all these things. And that's the concept, that here is a wagon. This is how it could look like in real life. And we wrote a song about all of these kind of people in this wagon. So we could just kind of freely come up with some cool ideas about the song. And then we put these people in the wagon that could represent this song.
Okay. So yeah, we can feel, especially on the artwork, and as Tommy told us last time, you write your music in a cinematic way, and we can feel on the artwork too. It's really cinematic. It could be a soundtrack for a movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah, and the artwork also captures all these kind of elements. You can see, of course, when you have heard the album and you maybe have read the lyrics, you can actually find many elements of these songs. Like, okay, this song is actually this part in the artwork and in this, so yeah, it's written in a kind of cinematic way. And I mean, Tommy is always the main songwriter. On this album, we have done some more stuff from the band members than before, actually, but he's still the main songwriter, and he really likes this cinematic thing, and he's very good at that. So I think so. Yeah.
Here is the point of this album. I would say it's more collective album, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially music wise, because on this album there is a couple songs like Mega True, which is coming from me, which is one of my song ideas. And then you have the song Victorious, which is based on one of the other guitar player's songs. So I would say that it's been more participation together, also in the writing process, because as I said, we were in this house and we were all there. So everyone was like, okay, I have this idea for this song and this break, or I want to have a drum fill like this here. And before, it hasn't really been, we haven't been working like that before with everyone in the same place. So I would say it's a bit more than before, at least.
Yeah, and as you mentioned on the song, Mega True or Battle Cry, we can listen to the bass, right?
Oh yeah, especially in Mega True, it's
yeah, that's right. We can feel your trademark, right?
Yeah, oh yes.
And which is great, sometimes I feel bass is underrated, and you can't hear the bass, or if you um, put out the bass of the album, of course it could be strange, but on many metal albums the bass should be up, and like on this song especially,
Yeah. But I think if you would take away the bass on any kind of metal album, almost at least, you would notice that. Yeah, it would be just like, what happened with the song? What happened with the sound? People would be like, oh, is the bass actually taking that much space, even if you don't really hear it clearly?
On the last album, on the Christmas album, everyone in the band was singing. Was it the case for this one too?
Oh yes. Even on the opening track here, let's see, did it? No. So on this track, on this album, on Powertrain, everyone is singing each bridge. After each chorus, there is a bridge back to the verse, and the first one I'm singing, the second one it's Joel, the drummer, singing, and on the last one it is Petter singing. And then in Alliance Anthem, me and Petter is also singing some lead vocals. And in Thunder Power, I think it is, we are doing like a duet, me and Tommy, between the verses. And yeah, it's everyone is singing at least something in a lead vocal way.
which is great. You know, is it maybe for live? Maybe it could be easier easier for Tommy, which is the who is the main singer.
Um, I don't think we have thought about it that way really. I think it's something that just has been growing because, like our new guitar player Petter, he is also a lead singer in a power metal band that he has, and I am also a singer. You know, I have a doom band where I'm also the lead singer. So we are singing a lot, and I think it kind of adds a cool dimension to our music that we have this sound, and right out when you are kind of don't expect it, somebody else can start sing. So it like it will catch your attention again, and like, whoa, what happened now? So I think it's kind of a cool dimension to have this on the records, and yeah, maybe it helps him live so he can focus a bit more on the guitar. But I don't. We have never thought about it in that way. It's been more like let's add something to the sound or mix something up here to make it sound cool. And yeah, we people are singing so much otherwise as well, so it's good to use the skills of everyone.
Yeah, like in Mastodon, when you can
Yeah,
hear
exactly.
the
Yeah.
several the singings. So you still play with Therian?
Yeah, I just finished a tour with them. This South American Mexico tour. It's been like 7 weeks, and now Theron is going on a break for a while. Like he said, 5 years for the next live appearance.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm gonna play in 5 years or
Yeah.
if Majestica is taking all my time. So I'm not gonna, I don't know really yet how it's gonna be in 5 years. So we will see what happens there. Yeah.
And the new guitar player, can you introduce us this guy?
To Petter, yeah, he joined the band at the recordings of our single called Metal United. So his first music video was Metal United, but he was not playing on that song because we invited him to do the choirs to just try to work with him a little bit before we invited him to join the band. So we knew it would work out well. He is an old friend of mine, and Tommy has been working with him before as well. So we all knew him. So his name is Petter Järpe, and he has his band called Mad Hatter, which is also a cool power metal band.
So he joined something like 3 years ago, right?
20.
I've just saw that Metal United was released September 21.
Yeah, then it's 3 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, time flies.
But we haven't done a record since then. So for him, it's the first record.
Yeah, that's right. So was it pretty natural in studio with him?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I played with him. The first time I played with him it was like in 2010 or something like that. So it's almost 15 years ago. So we have played together and done things before, both live shows and in the studio. So we know each other pretty well. And his first album was actually produced together with Tommy in like 2013. So they have also been in the studio together before. So it was very easy. It was very easy going.
Great. And I would say we can feel, this album is a mix of metal, power metal, and some hard rock elements, which are very cool, that you could listen to in the 80s, of course, with a very modern sound. But I like the mix, between power metal and hard rock. And
yeah,
how do you
I think
mix?
I think that's cool with the album because I think we kind of have all these different things. We have more traditional power metal in this album than it was in A Christmas Carol, for example. But we also still have some of this more symphonic power metal style that is where you can hear on A Christmas Carol. And we also then have this kind of heavy metal feeling with Megatrue. And then there is also a couple of songs that is more 80s hard rock style, but more modern.
Like Victorious, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Or No Pain, No Gain, maybe.
Hmm.
So I think it's pretty cool that this album has all these kind of different elements. So it's like a journey listening to it.
Yeah,
That's what I
and
think.
I like also the magical touch, I would say, in Epic My Epic Dragon.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
of course, you can feel maybe the mood that you had in a Christmas Carol in the way that it's kind of magical, or fantasy or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And also, that song has this kind of big choir arrangements that's similar to what we did on A Christmas Carol, uh, which makes it, I don't know, not Christmas sounding, but, has this kind of big cinematic sounding to it, like a movie theme or something like this.
Yeah. Um, is it the same guy that made the artwork than the previous one?
No, this new artwork is made by a guy it's called Dark Groove Design. His name is Jan Yrlund. He also does work for like bands like Battle Beast and Metal Light, Korpiklani,
Yeah.
and yeah. So this guy is from Finland, and it's the first time we work with him. Yeah, yeah, we gave him like many ideas, too many maybe. No, but we gave him many ideas, and we can try to explain like it has to have all these kind of different elements. Like if you look at the artwork, and up in one corner there is a little shadow of a dragon, uh, and things. So this was like, yeah, it has to represent this song, and we need a little dragon somewhere on the artwork. So put it in the corner, and then we have a song that is more based around Vikings. So we need to have a Viking on here, and we have this Majestica Alliance bar, which is like a VIP bar for our Patreon fans, or the kind of Majestica fan club, most dedicated fans. So we gave him a long list of details that has to be in the artwork.
And which is great with this album, and you contrary to Christmas Carol that you could only play for for Christmas or in the winter time. This one you can play when you want. So will you tour again? I think you toured for the Christmas Carol album, right?
No, we didn't actually. The tour
No.
got cancelled. There was a tour, a
Okay.
proper Christmas Carol tour. We did this kind of cool show. We bought everything. We had everything, with like snow cannons that we were gonna use, and
Wow.
dressed all like Scrooge and all the characters. But then the first year the pandemic canceled it, and then there was some other things that canceled it again. So that tour never happened, actually. And but we will tour now for sure. Next year is absolutely the most busy year Majestica has ever had, and there's so many things that's not announced yet. Also festivals, we have announced a few of them, but I think it's not even half of the festivals that's going to be announced. So next year is going to be a really touring heavy year for Majestica, which is pretty cool.
So how do you prepare for such a tour? Will you headline? You'd like to headline to do a
No,
headline tour?
yeah, but next year I don't think there's going to be that many headline shows. It's going to be some other things.
Okay. Yeah.
But for, I mean, preparations for me, as I take care of a lot of the tour managing part and productions and stage production and all these kind of things. For me, it's a lot of work, of course. Uh, but otherwise, I mean, what you do is you practice, you rehearse, and also you need to work out at a gym or something and get stamina to perform, and also because it's you don't, maybe some days you don't sleep that much, and you need to have the energy to be able to be ready not to sleep for a few days properly and things like this. So you need to work out and kind of try to be as good shape as possible. Um, but for me, yeah, it's so much chaos, with booking flights, with the
Yeah.
transporting merchandise, organizing how this is gonna happen, and this and this and this and that. So total chaos.
And I saw the your Swedish guys Evergrey 2 weeks ago, and they put some TVs on shows on stage, and I feel that this is the future for metal to put some videos on stage. Do you agree?
Uh, I
TV
yeah
or maybe suits or stuff like this, you know?
yeah. I mean, this whole thing has getting doing wearing makeup and things like this has becoming really big. But this TV thing, I think maybe it is the future. Yes, I'm not going to say it's not, but my personal opinion is that I somehow think sometimes it takes too much focus of the actual performance. So I'm not
Mm.
a huge fan of this TV thing. But for example, for Majestica, which plays some kind of fantasy, cinematic power metal, of course, these TV things would be a cool element because we could put so much cool material that suits our music on there that it would look amazing, like super epic. But at the same time, for me, I think it's just when I watch a lot of bands today and I see these TVs, it's like no, I don't really like watching it because I cannot enjoy the actual performance. So for me personally, it's a bit. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but yeah, it might be the future. Maybe it's positive or yeah,
It's like phones on in the audience, you know?
yeah, it is exactly. That's the same thing. Like everyone is using their phones, but it's sad. It's a thing that I don't really like either.
We
Yeah,
hope to see you next year in France,
I hope
maybe
so too.
Paris, or maybe.
There you will see announcements on our social medias for the next few months for different things for sure.
So stay connected on the Facebook page. And to finish, you told us that you have a fan club, right? And the fans, they have special editions, right?
Yeah, so this is pretty cool. We have this Patreon thing called Majestica Alliance, and actually on this album, the last song called Alliance Anthem is actually written together with them a little bit because we did like a vote for the song. So we had, like example, we had three different intros of the song, and we put it for the members in this fan club, and they could choose which one they liked the most. And we continued working with that and created the next part of the song, and then let them choose. So they have these kind of special things they can, and we also do like a live stream every month there, but just not playing, just talking and showing what we are doing and things like this. So they get some special content.
Yeah, I think it's like movies. Some versions of certain movies, you can change the end,
Exactly. Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
It's up to you if you see the character is dying or still living.
Oh yeah, that would be needed in some movies.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Chris,
Thank you so
and
much.
have a nice Christmas, right?
Yeah,
And you
you
can
too.
you can listen to this again, to this album, to this Christmas Carol album, and see you maybe next year, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I'm
Thank
sure
you,
we
Chris.
will be able to path ways.
Thank you. Talk to you. Bye.
Thanks. Cheers. Bye.